Singapore's merger and eventual separation from Malaysia is a story of two nations with competing visions that ended in a parting of ways since Singapore's independence. It's a story most older audiences know, but what about younger viewers? How do we make it resonate with them?
Yeah, well, over the past few months, our current affairs team has reworked this 60-year story into a new format called Micro-Factuals. Executive producer Nicholas O and producer Dynn Othman is joining us this morning to explain more. Okay, good morning, guys. So, Nick, what are Micro-Factuals? How do they differ? I mean, compared to, let's say, traditional TV programming?
Sure. So, morning, guys. So, Micro-Factuals are essentially digital first. So therefore, they're designed specifically for a digital first native audience. So what they are, they're vertical, they're binge friendly, and what this allows, and this is really
binge friendly.
Yeah, binge
like
friendly.
that. Okay.
Designed specifically for audiences who want to consume content as quickly as possible.
Right.
So it's designed for your TikTok audience, for your IG Reel audience, your YouTube Shorts. Now, what makes the format special is that if you actually watch one of it, let me provide some context. The story goes across 2 years, right? Now, if we were to do this as a traditional TV format, we would be constricted by the time that we're allowed, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. But when you do it in a style of Micro-Factuals, you actually can able to tell it in a very long way.
Okay.
You can actually go deeper, provide more insight.
Okay.
Yes, when you view it on digital platforms, it's a bit shorter, like 2 minutes and whatever. But individually, you can tell a story that is self-contained, still so the viewer can come in anytime, still be able to get the context, still be able to pick up what the story is, and still be left with a cliffhanger and want to be watching more.
Okay.
So what that allows you to do is that you can watch it alone. But the best way to enjoy this is to watch it all at one go.
Okay.
Ergo, the binge friendly.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have something prepared for us as well?
And we have something prepared. So maybe we can take a look.
Sure.
It's been 2 days since Malay extremists sparked death threats against PAP's Minister Othman. At Victoria Theatre in Singapore, a large group of Malays are carrying a banner that reads, "The Malay community supports the Singapore government." Some are waving placards that read, "We want Lee Kuan Yew, not Alba." Another 2 days later, the morning of the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, newspapers are exploding with accusations. Singapore UMNO leaders are crying foul. They claim that Lee Kuan Yew forced Malays to carry placards denouncing their own, that he insulted Malay pride, that he is tearing Malay and Chinese harmony apart. That afternoon, 25,000 Malay Muslims gather in Kallang. The Prophet's birthday procession begins. But as banners of devotion flutter, tensions slowly erupt. Othman is watching, horrified.
Othman lah niya. There was some fracas. It is getting out of bed.
Wow.
Okay. So this story appeals to me because I know a little bit about history and the separation, merger and the separation. But, I perhaps perceive as heavy stuff, So why did you choose this particular story to go with what essentially is an untested format, for this kind of story?
So, 2 reasons.
Yeah.
The first reason is that, this year's SG60, so we felt like it's an opportune time. The second reason is that this is an emerging format. So what we do is that we took the history and we tried to, the history, the drama that goes behind it. There's a lot of stuff that still would appeal to a younger audience, and there's still a lot of stories that they might not know, which is why we brought this to this particular format and this particular platform.
Yeah, certainly a fresh approach to storytelling. Dynn, let's bring you in as well. What did you most enjoy about covering this in this sort of format?
the thing that I really enjoyed about writing, and researching this series is being able to dive into the oral history interviews that were conducted by the National Archives of Singapore, the Oral History Centre at the National Archives of Singapore, with key historical figures like S. Rajaratnam, Othman Wok, and Devan Nair, because it really does feel like you're time traveling. And so I think what viewers are going to be pretty captivated by when they go through the 34 clips in the series really is the fact that so much of what they are being told is really coming from the past. They are being told what happened by actors in that historical context, right? And it's something that I think not many doesn't get done a lot. Usually you get voice actors kind of acting out historical figures, or narrators telling you about the past, right? And so for me, it was very enjoyable to just kind of listen to all these people, telling me what exactly had happened. And I think their voice, and the way that they basically lined out the events guided our storytelling and the way that we laid out what would happen in each episode of the Micro-Factuals too. Yeah.
Okay. So the way you research, was it different from traditional research? I mean, if we get a story, we'll go like, okay, let's go to archives, let's go to the National Library. Nowadays, maybe ChatGPT as well. How did you do your research to fit for this format?
The way that we carried out our research, with the addition of ChatGPT, really, it's really traditional journalism. It's just, I think, the volume of what we had to research that was it was monumental, right? Because we had to sift through about 2,000 pages of British diplomatic cables, between 1963 to when we separated in 1965.
Yep.
And then there were also, in total, at least 10 hours of oral history interviews that I had to listen to, and that I had to digest.
So let me understand this. Basically, you were looking for things which are not as widely known.
Exactly.
Interesting facts, interesting snippets, which not everyone is aware of, and you put it out there, and that's how you hope to generate renewed interest, both from younger audiences as well as older audiences. Am I on the right track here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really just digging out the nuggets. That I think a lot of Singaporeans are familiar with the story of merger to separation on a surface level, but in terms of the nuances, in terms of what happened on a day-to-day basis, I think that is actually what is most exciting about the story, and that is something that not many people are privy to.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, behind the scenes diplomacy is always interesting. I think you guys should work on that next. So full series, behind the scenes diplomacy, not limited to the region, just go global. Thanks guys, appreciate it.
Nick,
Thank you very
much. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing how this pivotal part of chapter of history has been reimagined for a new generation.